I told you that almost 90% of bench pressers are thinking the wrong thing when it comes to their bench press? I'm not talking about their setup, their grip, their feet, their upper back tightness, or even their programming and training. I'm talking about one mental shift that can immediately add pounds to your bench press. Let's get to it. Hey there, Brandon Spillane here from Thirst Gym, and I'm a performance coach that has worked with over 50 lifters in terms of addressing their bench presses and improving the technical aspect and helping them bench press more. And for myself, I actually went on to bench press 330 pounds at 132 pounds body weight, so I know a little bit when it comes to bench pressing. What I've realized that there's one big key thing that's never addressed in the room when it comes to improving your bench press. Most people are chasing muscles and technique more so than anything else. And while those are important, there is one mental shift that could immediately unlock your ability to press more weight, and that will lead to your technique and how you're training the bench press to improve over the long run. So take this one tip that I'm about to provide you from a mental perspective, and I guarantee you it will completely change how you change your bench press. Let's go. Now, are you approaching the bench press to where you got your barbell on the rack, you go to lay on the bench press, you get everything set up here, unrack, and you go to just press the barbell straight up like this? Well, I'm here to tell you that's not how you want to approach the bench press. Everything from a technique and training perspective, I'm gonna have linked in the description box below that covers everything that you would ever need to know about improving your bench press. But what I want you to understand is that when you get underneath the barbell, there needs to be a mental focus. It's not gonna be about, can I push that barbell off my chest and just unrack it and go? We want to have a mental framework that when we get set on the barbell or on the bench underneath the barbell, that we're setting our back, squeezing the bar, and our feet are locked into place. That's gonna be our technical foundation. But from a mental side, what we're gonna do when we unrack that barbell, we actually want to take our time getting the barbell out from the rack, and after I've done this, and I come down to my chest, as I go to press the barbell up, I actually want to think about pushing myself away from the barbell. I want to push myself away from the barbell, not just push the bar up here. I actually want to, again, stay tight, meet the bar, and push myself away from the barbell. Now, this mental framework might seem like something that's absolutely stupid, but once you get incredibly heavy weights in your hands, you're approaching your max or the most that you've ever bench pressed, that mental framework and change of mind will not only lead to you maintaining better technique throughout the entire duration of the press, but you're actually going to ensure that your upper back can stay tight. You can actually drive up into the barbell, and that barbell is going to keep in a much better bar path as a whole. So even when you go to get the barbell of just an empty barbell with absolutely no weight in it, approach the barbell, one, like it's incredibly heavy, like you've got your max on the barbell. Practice your consistent setup from your upper back to your feet to your hands, how you breathe, how you unrack the bar, from the barbell all the way up into your working weights. Not only is that going to give you quote unquote free technical practice, but having that mental framework every time you go to get underneath the bar will be much more automatic as you approach those heavier weights. And as you do that and you're constantly focusing on pressing the barbell away, once you get underneath heavy weights, nothing is going to have to change from what you're doing to be able to hit a new PR weight. So give that one tip from a mental standpoint a try and immediately see how it will improve your bench press. As an added bonus feature to this, not only when you address your mentality of how you're pressing the barbell and how you're unracking it, taking your time while you're setting up throughout the whole process will also give you time to mentally go through your checklist as you're doing stuff. For me, that's always going to be setting my upper back, lining my hands up where they need to be near the power bars. Knuckles are towards the ceiling, barbell's in the meat of my hands. I can now squeeze the barbell with my hands, make sure my traps are felt up into the bench. I can drop my butt, bring my feet down, get them flat, set, pull myself, redouble check my set. Now I'm in a good position to unrack, and I've got tension into that barbell, even though what the weight is does not matter. Then I can take my big breath in through my mouth, unrack, brace, hold still for a brief second to let the bar settle, down, own the position, and press myself away from the barbell. Where the average person, what it's looking like is they might set their back, they might set their feet, they come here, and then they start to go. You can see the difference immediately from how I'm approaching the barbell from a setup perspective, how that puts me in a better position immediately for all my working sets that I'll be doing and even my warm-up sets. So something that you can do to immediately address this, step number one, treat your light weights like they're heavy and your heavy weights like they're light. So what I mean by that is, even when you're warming up with the barbell, take that mental shift, practice your setup, treat it like you're actually doing it in a competition or you're taking a 1 rep max for everything from your back to your grip to your feet to your breath and how you're doing it, and make it repeatable over and over and over. Have the same walkthrough and setup every single time. Make that stylistic and individualistic to you. I showed you what I do, but do what's going to work best for you, but make sure you're consistent with it throughout your training from the warm-up all the way to that final work set. Secondly, what you can do is, as you go into your next bench press day, knock your weights down by 20 to 30 pounds and just take some singles and focus on that mental shift of how you're pressing the barbell away from you. It does work better by having some actual weight on the barbell versus having an empty barbell. You will be able to feel the difference by doing so. And so getting some practice reps before your actual training day can be something that lets you actually feel the difference so that you don't have to make your first attempt of actually trying to get what that feels like underneath an actual work set. And then the third thing that you can do is you can do a good old classic floor press to where you're gonna bench press, but on the floor. And what you're gonna do is we're gonna take our leg drive completely out of the equation. We're obviously not gonna have a full range of motion, and that's entirely okay. But I do find that the floor press, because our whole body is actually on the floor, where a bench, some of your shoulders and things can actually be hanging off the bench, gives you more surface area on your back and lets you actually feel what it's like to truly get more of that in there. And that can be a great supplemental movement to help you reinforce the technical aspect of what you're doing from that mental shift. So remember, next time you get underneath the bench press, think more about pushing yourself away from the barbell versus pushing the barbell off of your chest. This is only a one mental change that you have to make, and it will make a world of difference in terms of how your bench press feels and how the weight is moving. This is also not going to replace quality programming, telling you to not address your weak points, not address your setup. Those are all incredibly important, but this one mental cue can clean up a lot of things and give you a big return on your investment with some of those issues you might be having. If you happen to take one awesome thing away from today's video regarding your bench press, I'd really appreciate if you hit that like button. If you're watching and you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button because I drop new videos like this every single week. Thanks again, and I'll see you at the next video.